Okay, congratulations on the victory. We'll start with a comment from Coach Tadlock and then open it up for questions for the student athletes. Tim?
I'm just really proud of Bryce Bondman, Taylor Floyd. Those guys threw the ball awful well, kind of gave us an opportunity to, hang around and score some runs and, play good baseball. Those guys really went out and threw the ball really good. In the back of your mind, obviously, and you're thinking about Levin a little bit, and all the respect in the world for him, love him, and just appreciate everything he's done for college baseball.
Okay, we'll open it up now for questions for the student athletes. Once again, we'll get a mic to you, identify yourself, affiliation, and to whom you're asking the question. Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Brian or Dylan, either one of you guys. Did you guys feel like with Gabe back in the lineup, you're kind of a little bit back to yourselves again to an extent?
Yeah, we love having Gabe in there, but, I think whoever Tad rolls out there, whoever we have, I think Tanner and Max stepped in and did an awesome job the last couple days when Gabe's been hurt. And then Gabe was just feeling good today, and he played well, put the bat on the ball, so it's nice having him back. But whoever we put in that lineup, I have full confidence that they can play the game.
Dylan?
Couldn't say it better.
Okay. More questions for the student athletes, please. Okay, back over there.
Phil Stanton, College Baseball Insider. Brian, can you talk about your power surge out here in Omaha and talk about your at-bat there in the sixth?
Yeah, I have no idea where the home run started to come from, but today it happened to give us a really big run, and I'm super thankful for it. All the glory, honor, praise is to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I just think it shows how he works in me. I haven't hit a home run all year. No one expects that out of me. But to be able to put a barrel on the ball and get it out, it's an awesome feeling. And to help these guys win behind, Bryce and Floyd throwing and then Dylan making an amazing play and then just having good at-bats all night, it's just awesome.
Kendall?
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Taylor, just kind of talk about kind of your outing, just how you felt with your stuff. You kind of got extended a little bit there, and the stuff is still pretty sharp.
Yeah, I felt good. Everything felt good tonight. I think I was walking some people in some situations, not making pitches early in the inning, but just staying with it and being able to bear down with runners on base. I think that was the most important, and just giving our guys a chance to get back in the dugout and score some runs. That's all I was trying to do.
Okay. No, he's good. Yeah. Any more questions for the student athletes? Anything for Dylan more than just the, yeah, okay? I want to ask about the catch in the eighth inning. What did you see and how did that work out?
Well, every pitch I'm ready to catch the balls in the gaps. Coach taught us to routine, so I'm not real worried about those. I'm trying to make a play for my pitcher. They pitched their butt off all game, 3 hits, so I was trying to make a game-saving, I guess you could say, catch. But no, my first jump was good. I knew Gabe couldn't really dive because he wanted to be safe, so I was making sure if he could get there standing up, that I was going to back off, but I thought he was too far, so I just sent it, and it all worked out.
Okay, guys, you're excused. We'll see you Friday afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
When the guys clear out. Thanks. Kendall.
Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball. Tim, what did you kind of see from Bryson? I know we all kind of consider him more of a power guy, but he showed pretty good stuff all the way around tonight.
Yeah, he was in and out, probably really tough to hit, probably really tough to dig in. And he'd miss a little bit, and then he'd throw one in there, on the outer third or the inner third. I don't think he missed a whole lot in the middle of the plate. The slider was good. Thought Matt did a really good job with him, getting him in the zone when we needed to. And And he's had great mound presence since the day he stepped on campus. His first, everybody wants to talk back about his first outing. The results weren't great, but the mound presence has been great since day one. And he's a competitor. He's a baseball player, former shortstop, and he wants the ball.
Jason Patterson, Allen CWS. Coach, you made the comment the other night you thought these guys were going to be fun to watch with their backs against the wall. They've obviously embraced that role. What did you see out of this team all year that made you feel like they were going to do this well in this situation?
Probably the biggest thing is this group, they really like to play. They really like these off days. They like preparing. And really, nothing's really changed for us. We go out and inter squad in September, October, November. These guys try to play the game the right way. They're not going to let some type of circumstance that, the results dictate how their effort and their preparation. And they've been really good about, respecting the game and trying to play the game the right way. Not saying we'll always get the great results, but, as long as the preparation's right, we're happy with them.
Kendall.
Kendall, D1 again. Tim, as you look back at kind of Mike Martin's career, kind of what goes through your head when you think about his career, and also the thought, what goes through your head and the thought of making 40 straight regionals?
Holy cow. 40 straight regionals. I mean, it's unfathomable. It really is. I guess I was 10 years old when he started. You think of all those good teams he's had. You think of Buster Posey, J.D. Drew. Obviously, you think of the day Marshall McDougal hit 5 home runs. You think of all those times coming to Omaha. You think what he's done for the state of college baseball. It's not all about Florida State. He wanted to leave the game better than when he found it. He's definitely done that. He's definitely paved the way for all these guys all of us guys. They're going out, getting to coach college baseball. And you just think about all the battles. Think about how good Miami was back in the Frazier years. And you think about how good LSU was in the Burtman years. And you think about how good Mississippi State was when Ron Polk was there. And just literally in that region, for him to get here, I mean, I would think he'd had to run into some of those guys. And just remarkable what he's done. It's remarkable what he's done for college baseball. And I think, I think a lot of guys said this the other day. He's a great baseball coach. He's a better man. I mean, I've never heard anybody say a bad word about Mike Martin Sr. He's just, what you see is what you get. He's a guy's guy.
Steve Robertson, G's Page 247. Coach, what are your pitching plans for the next one?
We'll start Micah Dallas.
You got Eric up here.
Hey, Tim. Eric Sorensen from D1 Baseball. Not to milk the whole Mike Martin thing too much, but what did he say to you after the game when you shook hands, and what did he say to you before the game in the huddle that had everybody laughing?
He really enjoys the game. He mentioned our reliever. He goes, "That's a good little reliever you got there." And, we just thanked him for everything he's done for college baseball, and that's about it, really. It's really cool when you can sit in an opposing dugout and compete against somebody. And he's got a lot of respect for guys that go out and compete at a high level. You can see that. And he appreciates that, when guys go out. And it's almost, might see the golfer in him a little bit. He's playing on the guy making a par, and he's got to make a birdie, possibly. Or you plan on the guy making the putt, And he just... you can tell that he really can appreciate good performance because he's seen so many, and he respects that.
We'll have time for one more question for Tim. If anybody wants it, I guess not.
There you go.
Tim, thank you.
Yep.
Michigan will be the home team. Yeah, that's how it works. That's it. Okay. You want something else? That's okay. Tell you what, there we go. Come on in, Mike. Yeah, there you go. If you're just in now, please turn off your cell phones.
Display the leadership that they did when things were not going right for us 6-8 weeks ago. I'm just so pleased that they took the bull by the horns and brought us to Omaha. I don't want what they accomplished to go unnoticed. For them to go out and play in a very tough ballpark in Athens and an even tougher ballpark in LSU. Great fans, let's get that clear. It's just tough. I mean, catcher can't even hear you from 20 feet away. But what they accomplished is close to unbelievable. But yet they're disappointed, as we all are, with the outcome. But what's the outcome? We finished 5th or 6th in the College World Series. Our season ended in Omaha. There are a whole lot of folks that wish their season ended in Omaha. I'm proud as everything of each and every one of our young men, but especially these two. Just know that I can fake a smile with the best of them, and I'll get through the rest of this night with a smile, because I got to watch young men grow up. I got to work for Florida State for 45 years. And I'll never forget the times that I've had out here in Omaha. Yeah, I'll go ahead and say it, 17 times. I ain't going to say we never won one, because, you know, just getting out here is just so much fun to be with people that are living in the heartland of America and creating something that every college baseball player aspires to, and that's to get to Omaha. Well, we got here. We got beat, but does not take away from any of our enjoyment as a result of what the young men did in order to get here.
Okay, we'll have some questions for the student athletes before we get back to Mike. So if you have a question for Mike or Drew, please raise your hand. We'll start with you, Mike.
Mike Miller with the Orlando Sentinel. Mike, you guys struggled offensively in these 3 games. Just any ideas about what went wrong?
I think that's just baseball. We faced some good pitching, some good teams, and just some things didn't go our way.
Okay. Yeah.
Drew, obviously it's a tough loss. It's the end of Coach Martin's career. What did he say to you guys following the game, and just what's your reaction now?
Really the same as it's been for the last 3 years. Just how proud he is of us, how much this season has meant to him, how much we mean to him, and just how proud he is to be a part of our team, and we feel the same way with him.
In the back.
Drew and Mike, you can both answer this. What was it like to play for him? Sorry, Mike Salvatore. What was it like to play for 11? Was it what you thought it was going to be when you signed with Florida State?
I mean, it's obviously something that not many people get to say they were a part of his journey, and especially these last 2 years, how meaningful they were, and how much I learned as a baseball player and as a person will really stick with me for the rest of my life. And so basically, I mean, it was an honor to play in this uniform for him.
True.
It's been an honor. Coming here, there was a feeling that it could be the end of his career. And, to have the success that we've had in the last 3 years, the ACC championships, 2 trips to Omaha, 40 wins every year, just to experience that with him and be a part of his legacy. It's been a dream come true, just to be with him day in and day out, and just know the kind of person he is, and to grow as a man with him at the helm. It's been everything I could have dreamed of.
Okay, do we have any more questions for the student athletes? Guys, congratulations on a good season. Very good. And Mike, okay. Thanks, guys. Okay, we'll open up for questions now for Coach Martin. Yeah.
Coach, over here, Coach, to your right.
Back over here.
Wayne, I know you're there.
Yes, sir.
I know your voice.
Coach, when it was all said and done, what was your interaction with Meat? You know, just what did he say to you? What did you say to him? It's been 22 years with him on staff. Just what was that like in those last moments?
Carroll raised a young man that doesn't like to lose at all. He didn't have a whole lot to say. He needs time to cool off. He's the backbone of this club. He did an amazing job. He was obviously very disappointed because he wanted so much for me to get that elusive championship. Remember, he came out here twice as a player himself in the 3 years that he was at Florida State. He's an intense competitor. They talk about the 10-minute cooling off periods. He needs 2 weeks to cool off.
Where does this season rank in all of your 40 seasons?
Thank you so much for asking that, because that is something that the fact that it was the last season at Florida State, how can I find anything wrong? I saw guys grow up. I saw freshmen. We started 4 freshmen. That's so invigorating to see a freshman have success in front of great fans. Many of our guys, we had more attend fan day than they played for the whole time they were in high school. So it's just a year that I'll always remember, because there was so much accomplished by this team, culminating getting to Omaha.
Okay. Steve?
Coach, obviously you've seen a lot of transformation in college baseball right in front of you, Coach. But what do you think college baseball needs in order to take the next step as a sport? What does college baseball coaches need moving forward?
I've seen college baseball jump so much in the last 5 years. I think the competition is on the D1 level is going to be one in which there's going to be a lot of interest and fundraising to so-called keep up with the Joneses. I think there's a lot of that going on, just like it is in other sports and our jobs. I think baseball has improved drastically in 5 years. Look at the number of men that were throwing in the low to mid-90s, some higher than that. So you're seeing a sport just really taking off. I don't know if there's anything that is so-called needed, because you have so many outstanding coaches in our profession doing a great job, as evidenced the ones that were here.
Mike, you've had a lot of special moments with your fans over the last couple of weeks, especially over the postseason. But to come back out up the steps one more time and greet the crowd that was there waiting for you, I suppose, what was that moment like for you, and how special was it to be able to share a moment like that one more time before walking off the field?
That was neat. A lot of those great Seminoles were not from Tallahassee. They were from all over the state and other states. We had a great turnout of Seminoles, and when they started calling for me, I wasn't about to ignore that, because, well, I owe that to them to go back out there, because they acknowledged me, and I just am very proud that they are great supporters of our program as well as other programs at our university.
Here in the back. Yes.
Jason Patterson, Island CWS. Coach, you've left so many memories and such a positive impact on this game. Your legacy, it's going to go on forever. Everybody remembers you differently based on their interactions with you, I'm sure.
I just want to, this is the only time it gets hard. I want to be remembered as a guy that did it right, that put education first, that made sure that guys understood what's expected of them, that they're coming to Florida State to get a degree first. We're not a school that just wants baseball players. We're a university that demands that you do what you're supposed to do in the classroom, and that's give it your best shot. I want to be remembered as a guy that played the game hard, but made others around him feel good when they whipped my fanny. And y'all ever want to talk about L's? I got some L's. But that to me is what was so humbling to hear for the last couple of days from a few coaching staffs. Because there's a certain way that I think the game of, we're dealing with college baseball players. This is not professional baseball. I don't throw at hitters. That's not college baseball. College baseball is one in which a student athlete, and there's no better description of a baseball player than a student athlete. They have responsibilities, but their main responsibility is giving it their best shot in the classroom and on the field.
In the back.
11, did this feel different the 17th? Because you knew it was your final one. And did you allow yourself to enjoy it? And I know you're competitive and you're here to win a championship, but did you allow yourself to enjoy it while it was happening?
I wouldn't give myself an A. Inside, I got a little sincere attitude. It's life. When it was over, I had a chance to gather my thoughts and realize what the team accomplished. That made it easier for me to talk to them, because our program is about the players. And we have a sign in our clubhouse. It's all about us. And it is. That's what we are. We're family. From our administration to our soccer program to every program that we have, we care about each other. And I'm so proud to be a part of that.
Eric.
Hey, Mike. Eric Sorensen from D1Baseball.com. Just kind of look back a little. What did you learn going up against guys like Rod Dato and Ron Frazier and Augie Garrido and those kind of guys that you butted heads with so many times?
I could tell you so many stories about everyone that you named. Frazier, let's remember where Ron Frazier got his degree, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't any. The university is very close to the state, to the Georgia line, but it's called Florida State. And we talked all the time. Flew back with him one year. He was a guy that I learned a lot from, doing it the right way. Dato, there's not enough time for me to tell you what he's done for me, what he did for me before we lost him a few years ago. There's so many, don't forget Augie Garrido. There's so many people that I learned from, competed against all of them. And I sincerely appreciate you mentioning that, because we all learn something from someone. The key is sift through and use what you think is right.
Okay, Teddy, or Steve, right here, and then we'll go back.
Coach, what will you miss the most about coaching?
Dang, that's a good question. The teaching part. For the last at least 30 years, when the guys take ground balls, I'm in the outfield watching. It was as recent as 6 hours ago when I was right there and they were taking ground balls. I believe that repetition is crucial to becoming the kind of program that you want. You cannot take things for granted. And I'm out there, and another very important part of our program is it's got to be fun. That doesn't mean ha-ha when it's time to bear down. It means that you've still got to enjoy. You look forward to coming to practice. You look forward to playing a game. You look forward to certain situations and get out of an inning because you work so hard with the infielders, the pitchers. Clyde Keller did a great job with our pitchers this year. So I think the big thing is keep things in perspective, but never lose sight of the important little things. That's the difference in winning and losing.
Okay, you have a question in the back?
Elizabeth Merrill, ESPN.com. Last night, you took your family out to dinner. It's the night before an elimination game, possibly your last game. What was that like, and was there any reflection going on there between you and your son?
Yeah, he ordered a dadgum calamari plate that cost me $50. I ate half of it, though, so anyway. We had a great time. I had, of course, my girlfriend of 55 years. Holy smoke, it will be 55 years next week. But my daughter was here, my granddaughter was here, and, of course, my son. So it was a great evening. My two grandsons and my granddaughter were there also. It was a great family evening. We had a tremendous meal. It was a meaningful experience, one that I will always remember, because one of those grandsons is not too bad, boys. You might see him out here one day.
Okay, way in the back.
Coach Austin Falco, WCBN Sports. There's no secret that all the coaches throughout this week have talked beyond admirably about you and your career. What sort of lessons do you hope they can take away from your career, your time here in Omaha, whether not just this time, but all the other 16 times you've been here? And what sort of things do you hope they carry on from your coaching days and your legacy?
I just hope that they know how important it is to do things right. Whether it's dealing with a young man, getting across to them the importance of education. Some of the best phone calls I've ever received are from guys that, well, they had to run some steps. And boys, Doak Campbell Stadium is a tough chore to get up and down. But I get in cold chills just because I've had calls to say, Lebma, I can't believe I'm making this call because I hated you so many times when I was going up those steps. But I got a job. I'm working in this area. And then one of them said, and I'm making $53,000 a year. And that was years ago. It's phone calls like that that make me feel so good that maybe, just maybe, we did do that right, that young man got the point. You come to school to get an education, and if you don't do what you're supposed to do, there are repercussions. I can't even walk up those steps anymore, much less run up them.
Okay.
Coach, building off of how baseball has changed so much over the years, what is the biggest change that you've seen at Florida State over your career?
I would say the number of pitchers and the velocity that they have come up with in the last, 5 years ago, if we had 3 guys that threw 90, holy smoke, we really thought we had this thing all figured out. Now we have 7 guys that can throw 90 or better, and they still have a lot of secondary pitches that they've got to perfect. But you're seeing velocity take charge of the college game, but changing speeds is still most important in my opinion. So that's what I'm seeing. The young man, Floyd, that came in relief for Texas Tech was throwing sidearm, and he was high 80s. It's really getting challenging year in and year out. That, and you have specialty people that can come in and face a couple of people. A stronger bullpen. You used to not have 4 or 5 guys that you could bring out there in the course of a game. We used 5 pitchers tonight, and all of them had pretty good outings. I think JC was the only one that was not JC.
Okay, I think there's not a person in this room that looking forward to the end of, oh, we got one more, okay. Don't let me stop.
Hi, Coach. Kyle McKelvey, College Baseball Nation. Have you had time to think about what you'd like to do?
We have a great remaining summer lined up. We're going to go on a Mediterranean cruise with a number of Seminole boosters. We have another, I guess you'd call it a boat ride. It was given to me. We have a trip to the Holy Land that we're really looking forward to going to. We're going to Greece. It's just, it's about a 12-day, if I'm not mistaken, experience that we're 16. It's a lot of golf. I'm going to miss, woman. Just kidding. It'll be a lot of fun to be with Seminoles and make new friends and see parts of the world that I never dreamed I would get to see.
Okay.
If there are, go ahead.
No, you're.
I was just going to say, if there are, I just want to tell y'all, from Mike, Orlando, and Aaron, and all the Tallahassee writers and writers from the state of Florida and writers from out here in the great city of Omaha, how much I appreciate the great job that you have done in promoting this great sport of college baseball. You people do an unbelievable job in keeping us informed. I just can't say enough of appreciation for keeping baseball moving upward. We need you. We appreciate you. And I'm proud to say that, heck, we used to play a doubleheader 40 years ago, and it got in the paper 2 or 3 days later. So I just can't tell you how much we appreciate the efforts that you people continue to make to keep baseball in people's forefront, in their eyes.
Like I say, I hate to think that this is going to be the end of it, but I guess we better cut it off here. Mike, thank you so much for everything, and
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. I'd be happy to. Any particular spot? How about right here?
any place you went to.
There we go. Nice pen. They tell me I got a fetish for pens.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Nice to see you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it.